Have you been trying the same thing over and over again and winding up, coming up short each and every time, but you want something to change and be different? Yes, my friend, that is called the definition of insanity. We will be allowed to circle that mountain that we're trying to climb as many times as we need to before we finally raise our hands and say, I give up, I've had my enough, let me try a different way. And if that's where you are today, great, stick around. I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can start to implement some changes that will actually work and stick so you can stop going over that same hard mountain in front of you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Carrie Schwer. I'm an executive lifestyle coach, and I work primarily with those that are looking to move out of the gray areas in their life. What is a gray area? That space where you're living in complacency, mediocrity. It's not that bad, but it certainly isn't that good, and you know you're designed for more and you're trying to find it, yet you don't know how to fill that hole. If that's you, this channel is definitely for you. So consider liking this video and subscribing if you found it to be valuable. So let's dive in, shall we? So what is the first thing you can do when you start to see that you've been circling the same mountain of shame and guilt, trying to change a behavior, and you're really struggling? What is the first thing that you need to do is to recognize your patterns. What is it that you're doing over and over again? Our actions give us so many clues. We need to kind of reverse engineer backwards. And I'm going to share with you what that looks like in a second. But we need to start to see what the patterns are. Become almost like a scientist here or a detective. What are you doing over and over again that is ending up with the same result, which is no result? You're ending up feeling more shame, more guilt because you're unable to figure this thing out. What is it? What are those patterns that you're doing over and over again? So that's the first thing. The second is, once you have identified what those patterns are that you're doing, now you can begin to find the root cause of the problem. I'm going to share my own personal story here to demonstrate this a little bit further for you. When I quit drinking in 2016, I could tell that my patterns of wanting to have a drink all were related to how I was feeling about myself, which none of that was very good. I worked in a job at the time that I really didn't like. I was really under so much stress, as most of us are. It was a lot of stress. It was a lot of heartache every day and struggle. It felt like a struggle. And I'd come home, and because I just wanted to forget my day and just leave all that stuff behind at the office, the best way for me to do that was to pour a drink, specifically a glass of wine. Wine was my jam. If I had a couple glasses of wine, then I forgot all about what was happening at work and I could just relax and veg out for the night. The problem with that is then the next day I actually felt worse about myself. I felt worse about this situation, and then the cycle continued over and over again. And I got to circle that same mountain of shame and guilt from me drinking, and the shame and guilt of me not feeling good about myself, loving who I was, hating my job, having all these emotions that were tied to it. And I could see that the root cause wasn't so much about the drinking as it was about how I felt about myself. So I first looked at the patterns, and then I found the root cause, which was me not liking me, not liking my life, not liking the situation. And I kept trying to figure out a way to get over on the other side of the mountain, and nothing was working until I found what that root cause was. Aha! Now I could actually make a plan. I could create, and this is the third one, by the way, I could create an action plan to help me stop the behavior, stop the way that I was feeling so negatively about myself, and have forward progress. And that, my friend, is the key. And how do you make a plan? Well, now that you know what the root cause is, you want to have some support and accountability. That looks different for everybody. It might be talking to a good friend, a non-biased friend, somebody who's going to give it to you straight, tell you straight. Maybe it's working with a therapist or a counselor or a coach like myself. somebody that you feel very comfortable with, that is going to guide you through whatever that behavior, whatever those feelings are, in a way that is going to be beneficial for you, that's forward motion, that's progress and growth, that's going to help you overcome it with the support and the accountability that you're going to need. And now that you've found your accountability partner and you feel really good about this person and you know they're going to help support you through this transition, whatever change it is for you, now you can practice self-care. And self-care, my friend, is really self-investing. And what I mean by that is taking the time for you. It's investing into your own time that you're able to give for yourself. We don't do enough of this, right? Either we do too much or we don't do enough. If you're someone like me that's always wanting to please others, this can create an issue. So you have to find these healthy boundaries and containers for yourself. And what I mean by a container is for you to have time that is non-negotiable for you. I'll give you another example from my own personal story. My non-negotiable for myself is carving out morning time. To me, that is precious time. And that morning time, I spend time in prayer, I meditate, I do breath work, breathing exercises. I'll also take the dogs for a walk, or I'll work out with my trainer or go to the gym. I need to get some physical activity in. And what this does, not only is it self-investing into me, but it's actually providing strength and confidence and vigor and excitement. And I feel really great to get through my day. It has been a complete game changer in my own personal life as well as for my clients. So self-investing and with self-care is going to be the best plan of action that you can do in implementing a great daily routine for yourself and having someone come alongside of you to hold you accountable. This way, my friend, you won't be circling that same mountain anymore. You'll be able to actually go up and over the mountain, and you'll be able to move through whatever it is that's been blocking you, and you'll actually have the result that you're looking for. So let's recap, shall we? The first step is to recognize the pattern, and the second one is to then know what the root cause is. Once you have the root cause, now you can make a plan, have a plan of action. The fourth step is to find somebody that will hold you accountable and be supportive. And that can look differently for everybody. For you, what feels good for you, what resonates for you, make it happen. And lastly, knowing that self-investment is self-care, and what can you do to establish yourself a good morning routine or a night routine that will help be your non-negotiable, that will give you the strength and the courage and the confidence and the overall well-being and vigor that you need to get through whatever it is that you've been trying to accomplish this whole time. You can do it. You can get over this mountain. You can stop circling it, and you can begin to know that the actions that you are taking are working, and you will end the cycle of insanity. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If so, please consider giving it a thumbs up and a like, and consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. I thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time.